welcome back. So we are on Unit 11 and we're going to start on looking at the volume of rectangular prisms. Okay, so if we're looking at this, we know that if we are finding the area of something, it would be of a square, right, here, length times width, or even a rectangle, right? So this is the length here, and this is the width, and we would multiply that together. So say this is 3 and this is 5, this would be 3 times 5, and these are centimeters, and that would equal 15 centimeters squared because we're multiplying 2 units of centimeters together, which gives us that raised 2, right? Okay, if we're looking at this cube, right, this is going to be the length here. This here is the width of the cube, and then up here on any of these is going to be the height. Oops, wrong. Height is going to be the height. So the formula for a 3D object is going to be length times width times that height in there. So if this is 3 centimeters times 2 centimeters times, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters. Okay, so that's 6. So that would be 24. And because I have the 3 centimeters there, it would be centimeters cubed. And that raised 3 tells us that I've multiplied the 3 centimeter sides together. And so it becomes a cubic centimeters, and that raised 3 means cubic centimeters or cubic meters or cubic kilometers, whatever you're multiplying, right? So that is what that means. Okay, so just doing this again without the boxes, okay, it's the same thing. This is the length here, this is the width, and this is the height. Okay, so the length would be 6 centimeters times the width, which is 2 centimeters, times the height. And then this would be 12, so that'd be 120 centimeters cubed because I have those 3 centimeter sides that are being multiplied together, so we have the raised cubed. Okay? All right, so always make sure that you're using the correct units in your answers, because if I said this was meters and then you were going to make this, okay, very, very different than centimeters cubed, meters cubed, right? So using the proper units and putting them in is very, very important. And things will be marked wrong if you don't. Okay, so just know that. All right, so now if I'm going to find the volume of a prism, right, I need to think about what is the length of this prism. In this prism, the length is 10 centimeters there. The width is 3 centimeters and the height is 2 centimeters. So when I'm looking at this again, right, I go length times width times height. Okay, so this same prism, I have now made it into what is called a net. I've unfolded this. Okay, so what does the expression length times width represent for the formula of the volume of a prism? So what that would mean is, if I'm just looking at this, why isn't it writing? This bottom piece here, this length, okay, is 10 centimeters, and the width here is 3 centimeters. And if I multiplied those together, this is 10 centimeters times 3 centimeters, and that's going to be equal 30 centimeters squared, right? And so that is just giving me the area of that bottom piece. That's it. That's all that gives me, okay? So in order to make sure that you're doing this properly, okay, the order of, I could go height times width times length. The order of how I multiply these together doesn't matter as long as I do all of them together, right? If I was only going to look at this section, this is just the height times the length. That's giving me the area of just the left side. Okay, or if I only did this and I did height times width, that would only give me the area there. Okay, so just making sure that you're knowing what you're being asked in your questions. Are you being asked for the area of the top of the prism, or are you being asked for the volume of the prism? Okay, now how would you find, if we're looking at this one here, so I want to find what the area is, or the volume of the whole thing is. I have here, whoops, why isn't this working? There, I have here, so I know what the volume is. And if I'm just given the area of one of the faces here, how could I use that in order to find that space? So what the volume is 75 centimeters cubed, right? And what I have here now, this is the length and the height is what I know. Length times height here is going to be equal to 25 centimeters cubed. And if I'm only using whole numbers, then I would know that the length of this is 5 centimeters times the height of this, the height of this is 5 centimeters, okay? And so what I don't know is, what I don't know is the width. That's what I don't know, so we're just going to use a little algebra here, right? And so if I go, this is 25 centimeters squared, right? I can leave that together. I don't need to pull it apart in order to be able to find out what the width is. Okay, I was just showing you that I know what the sides are. Okay, so this is 75 centimeters cubed. Now I'm going to divide by 25 centimeters squared. Okay, this is going to be important here, that 2. And 25 centimeters squared. So these are also going to cancel each other out, and then I'm just left with 25 and just centimeters. Okay, you could write a little 1 there, but that doesn't mean anything. So it just means there's 1 centimeter, so you don't have to write a 1. And then I divide that, and I'm going to end up with 3 centimeters. Okay, so I know that the width is equal to 3 centimeters. All right, so you have some questions to do. If you have any questions on any of this, please come to the help session.